Darth Vader. Just get it out, get it out. Oh, hello boys, thanks for having me. Well, I came to LA to see a few friends and also to come to my fabulous salon that I come to here in Burbank, California. It's called Dylan Keith Salon, D-Y-L-A-N, Keith Salon, and you can find them online at dylankeith.salon.com. But I love coming to Los Angeles, and I flew Southwest because I heard they had the new sunroof option. But apparently that was only a one-time thing. But it's difficult for me to fly because I need to buy the seat that I'm in and the seat behind me so I can recline. It's air travel, not hair travel. But Burbank is a lovely place. Have you ever been here? It's marvelous. You have to keep mobile though because of the smell. You can't stay in one place for very long. But Los Angeles is the place of stars. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but just coming here, I saw a man who looked just like Morgan Freeman on rollerblades. And tonight, I'm going to a place where apparently there's a woman that comes by who looks just like Pia Zadora at P.F. Chang's. And just down the street, there's a man who looked just like Charlie Sheen, who cleaned my windshield at a traffic stop. Looked just like him. Did a terrible job. No, we have an understanding. I don't bother them and they don't bother me. I'd like them to bother me a little bit more. Sometimes I go outside a news building and stand there and hold up signs. And, just recently, there was a photo taken of me by the New Jersey Speculator. And this is a photo of Jake Gyllenhaal and I running in Central Park last weekend. Isn't that lovely? Now they use some kind of odd lens because that's why my hair is so small. Oh, Jake, he's a darling boy, a darling boy. I call him up and he adores me. He says things like, "What are you doing calling me? Who is this? I'm gonna call the police if you don't get off my lawn." And we laugh and laugh. Well, I love the Hollywood Bowl. I rent that out for Tupperware parties and for things like that. I like to go jogging at Lake Hollywood, and I see some of my lovely friends there. Joan Van Ark, she loves to jog there. Gretchen Weiler, I don't know if you know her, she's a star from the 60s. Dick Van Patten. And sometimes I like going to the flea markets and the swap meets and just hang around with the little people. Well, I don't know who is not inspired by Oprah Winfrey. Just the other day, I thought of her and I said to myself, nope, I'm not going to eat that other donut. But of course, I'm inspired by all the greats, Julia Child, Martha Stewart, and Curtis Stone. I've been inspired by Curtis Stone many a long night. I definitely think there's a place for my show. I've always thought that daytime or nighttime DIY television was always missing that extra element, explosions, fire, and I just think there's a place for us. Well, I originally wanted to have Gina Gershon on the show, but last year we had a little altercation and she stole my cab, and ever since then we've had kind of a friction. But of course, Rachel Ray, I'd love to have her on the show and just, keep the booze away from her. Oh, was it Kate Middleton? I thought it was Kate Beckinsale. Prince Billy and Kate Beckinsale. The Queen and I, we talk to each other every week. We play Mahjong via Skype. And of course, she says her browser stalled and she goes off and gets help from the staff. Well, actually, my stylist is around here somewhere. It varies from 2 to 3 days to do this. Now, my hair is actually designed by stylists and architects, and we have a little weakening in the East Wing today, and I want her to take care of it. Oh, fashion inspirations. Well, I think the best trick and key is to stick out and pull focus. People love that. Always wear something that draws attention. Say, for instance, you're in a mall and your friends want to find you, or a photo op and you can draw attention to yourself. That's quite popular. And of course, my mantra, hats are impossible. I love the bow ties. I've been noticing a lot of bow ties on women, and I'm glad that the men are doing it too. I think anything looks good. I would advise whatever you wear, just make sure that it's wash and wear because of all the wine you drink. I would love to tape an episode in London. I wanted to do a whole how to clean the inside of the London Eye. I normally don't do windows, but I would love to do that. I adore London. Oh, steak and kidney pie and blood pudding, they're all my favorites. I adore you, gentlemen. I watch you every week. And I just want to say thank you for the marvelous review you gave the show. I don't know how much you had to drink before you watched it, but I'm grateful. And I will be sure to send you another bottle. Mwah! Love you.
It's McCracken Live with your host, Carol Ann McCracken.
Now, for those of you who don't know me, number one, where have you been?
Now I'm scared.
You're out of Slim Fast.
Now I'm scared and fat.
Screw it! I was a very different kind of a child. As a young girl, I used to have braces on my legs.
The other day, my son asked if I was on my period. I lied. Said I wasn't.
Great to be here, guys. Thanks for having me. Well, my writing partner and producer partner, Brian Beacock, and I have been working together for years, and he had met this character, Carol Ann McCracken, that sort of had a life of her own, so we invented this world around her where she does DIY shows, but we wanted to make it a little different, so everything goes wrong. And while everything's going wrong with Carol Ann's show, Tyler, the person who plays Carol Ann, has a disastrous life of his own. So the show kind of came out of like the melding of like Tootsie and obviously like British farce and things like that. And then we kind of melded in some like visual styles of Ugly Betty and Home Improvement and everything else. 30 Rock was a big influence, especially as it became more accessible for us. We kind of modeled the high anxiety levels of the show after some things in 30 Rock. Any sort of backstage antics have... Actually, you did. You mentioned Christopher Guest. Christopher Guest is kind of an important part of the show because our show has a very loose improvisational feel sometimes. Even though everything's very carefully sculpted and scripted out, we kind of let the characters run free. The show was originally conceived as a television pilot, and through the goading of friends and neighbors, we made it into an internet series, and we really didn't plan very much. We just kind of went with the model of, let's do some funny stuff. We didn't map much out, but with season 2 coming up, we're kind of taking a broader approach to it and going to get you a little bit more overarching storylines of what's going on in all of the people's lives. So that one's going to be very carefully scripted from top to bottom. We're starting the planning right now. We have a couple of exciting little storylines going on, one of which, of course, is Carol Ann's network, the Applause Network, is in financial trouble, so they're cutting things back from the show, and we're trying to see how the characters go along with those types of things. And we also have a couple of arch enemies that we're introducing for her this year, some new love interests for both Carol Ann and her alter ego, his alter ego, Tyler. So we got some new love interests involved, and a little bit more of Tyler this season too, because we want to get back to the family roots of the show as well, which is that the landscape of the American family's changed so much that there's really a lot to say with these types of characters. We kind of started with a grassroots approach again with, working through Facebook and Twitter and all the popular social networking sites, and then we've obviously joined Kickstarter and other financing programs like that. But we've really been trying so hard to get the material that we have out to people. We've done a lot of film festivals that have helped us to get our name out there, which is in turn helping us to raise funds. So we're using private financiers and all kinds of things. And then on top of which, we have a couple of companies that are interested in working with us to finance season 2 for a broader audience. Originally, we kind of tamed the show down when we wanted to go with a television audience, and then when we got this idea for internet, we decided that we could let Carol Ann say anything. Is she in earshot? So we decided that she could say anything she wanted, and that gave us the freedom to be a little blue and blue. Our fans are as rabid as Carol Ann herself. It's been a lot of fun to see how quickly people respond to little tidbits and stuff like that. And the cool thing about the internet is it's so instant. Like when we put out our Halloween episode, for instance, we were able to produce it, write it, direct it, shoot it all within the week of Halloween, and then instantly get a response from it and be posted on blogs everywhere and stuff like that. So it's been a lot of fun. Well, the best place to go is www.mccrackenlive.com. You can check out all of our information there and new webisodes as they come out.